Okay.
Yep.
So Sam, what's the story?
Oh God, I'm so nervous, dude.
Oh no, no, don't be. It's okay.
Oh, okay. Um, yeah, like just woke up. It's like 5 a.m. here in
Oh wow.
Australia. So. So I'm already feeling a bit disoriented, but
Yeah.
yeah. Um, the story. Is that
Yeah.
what you asked me?
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I've been sort of into the non-duality scene for a couple of years now.
Okay.
Um, I I started sort of looking, searching for something. I think when I was about 15 years old, so about 5 or 6 years ago,
Okay.
I sort of got into like Eckhart Tolle and
Yeah.
started meditating and that kind of thing, and then sort of progressed, or it feels like this progression, like this
Yeah.
pipeline down to like the radical stuff.
Okay.
Um, and yeah, I don't know. For a long time, for me, it all felt like it was all happening up in my mind.
Yeah.
Like I was sort of playing with ideas and stuff.
Yeah.
And um, but something's happened recently.
Hmm.
I don't know what it's. Something is, yeah. It's like shit's got real,
Yeah.
sort of. Um, and yeah, just I started watching your videos, I think a couple of weeks ago. Um, and yeah, I can't stop watching you because it's just resonating so much. And I'm, yeah, sort of feeling like I'm like, am I going crazy? Is this actually what's happening? And I just wanted to talk to you. Um, yeah. Um, this just seems so like it's so wild. It's so crazy. Um,
It is.
yeah, right. Like, and I still have all this nervous energy. You probably tell.
No
Uh,
worries. No worries. No worries.
um, yeah, I just wanted to talk to someone who actually knows what this is all about, because a lot of people, there's not really anyone in my life that understands what it, like I'll try and tell them about what I'm into,
Yeah.
um, this kind of thing, and no one really knows because it's
Yeah.
such a hard thing to talk about.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so I just wanted to
So
talk. This is
what's
my first time talking to someone
yeah,
about
so
this.
what's been happening with you watching these videos? What seems to evoke? What seems to happen? What seems to occur?
Yeah. Um, I don't know. Like, yeah, it just seems to me, or maybe not to a me, but it just seems like
No
this.
need to correct language. It's okay.
Yeah, yeah. It just seems to me that this, it like, kind of like flickers on and off.
Yeah.
It's not like a constant thing, but I just see like all of a sudden, like nothing exists outside of this. Like that's sort of how it broke
Kind of
down for me. Like,
shocking, right?
yeah, very shocking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, like I would like there's no past or future. Like it's
Yeah.
just this.
Yeah.
And I always heard people saying that,
Yeah.
and I like thought I understood it.
Yeah.
And but now it's just so like obvious. Like just
Yeah.
yeah. Um,
Yeah.
and yeah, like I experienced a bit of like this existential dread sort of feeling.
Hmm.
don't know if you felt that, like sort of like I'm falling out of the world, sort
Yeah.
of, or something. Um, and it's like really, really scary. And because my mind's just, I guess, trying to like understand what this is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I had several of those, some existential, dread. And there's something that I know that I don't know,
Yeah.
and it has nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
Yeah. um so this meeting here, this it has nothing to do with you, really. It has nothing to do with me. So the character, the individual, try to come up with a whole bunch of reasons why this was booked and everything, right? um
Yeah.
Without any mind. Mind is just a concept. If there's just this, right, then there's really no mind. Even this words that's appearing is just a construct. um this is even a construct, all of this. And what's not constructed or not cannot be thought about is often overlooked. And what's being
Yeah.
overlooked is the simplicity that there is this unknowableness that's saying too much. This directness, like, what are you thinking about if you can't use your mind?
Hmm.
What are you looking at if you can't use your mind?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, it's yeah. There's nothing I can say about it because as soon as I try and describe it, then that just becomes
Yeah.
thought.
So there's something that's flickering in and out, right? And then there's also this infiniteness or whatever. I don't know what word to use. That doesn't really flicker. It's like the backdrop. It's like the what seemingly this flickering is emanating from.
Hmm.
And everybody's looking for that. Some
Yeah.
people will call it peace, some people will call it enlightenment, some people will call it God or awareness or whatever. Some people will call it nothing.
Yeah.
Radical non-duality, they will try to position it as nothing being everything. But all of those are construct. It's of the mind, right?
Yeah.
So again, if we look at the mind, it's just a complete construct. It's a flicker. It flickers in and
Hmm.
out, right? And what's often missed is, like, for example, if your eyes are blinking back and forth, right? Like opening and closing, there is something that you are overlooking. What do you think is that?
I don't know. It's just, oh, I guess I'm overlooking the thing that is looking.
That's just another concept.
Hmm. Yeah.
And I know you resonate with it. That's why you're probably kind of like addicted to the videos, right? Because there's something that is being expressed there that cannot be said, and that's what you're resonating with.
Yeah.
Yeah. And which videos have you seen? A lot.
Like I watched a few. The first one I saw was with like the Ouroboros thing with Josh. I'm
Yeah.
so awake, but with you in it. And then I watched some of those one-on-ones you did with like Herloff,
Yeah.
and I think one was with Kim the other day. Yeah.
Okay.
Um, yeah. Yeah, but I only just recently got into watching your videos, but for like a long, long time I've been sort of, yeah, I don't know how you describe like the different, like I've been watching like Rupert Spira for a while,
Yeah.
that kind of thing.
Okay.
I got into like the Vedanta a lot.
Yeah.
Um,
Likewise. Yeah. Likewise. So,
yeah, yeah,
so everyone, including me, although there's no me or there's no you, are just talking about in a thought level. So these
Yeah.
one-on-ones completely goes directly. So in this directness, in this immediacy, just this really,
Mm.
thoughts appear as a concept. You appear as a concept. It's just a really it's a really flimsy house of cards, right? For example, if you take away thought, then there's no you. There's no time. If you take away the time, then there's no thoughts. There's no you. But what's always obvious is that it's all an illusion. Everything that you think about is an illusion. Every time that you come up with something, it's a dream. Every time that you think it's a dream, but there's something that's not moving, something that is infinite, basically. So what if what's looking behind those eyes is the infinite, and what's being looked at is the infinite?
Mm.
And we just cannot conceptualize it because it's infinite. We cannot think of it because it's infinite. So it's always here. It can never leave, right? Because it's infinite. So it's infinitely appearing as your thoughts, as your feelings, as your sensations. Everything that you're looking at is the infinite. But the moment we tack on a word or a concept to it, then it becomes an idea. So we're really blinding, we're blinded by words and thoughts and concepts and whatever in an appearance that cannot really be conceptualized. But there's nothing wrong with it. It's not about getting rid of some thoughts or whatever, because that's just another thought.
Mm.
What if everything that you're looking for, actually, let's ask that question. What are you looking for?
Yeah. The reason why I started all the looking was because I
Mm,
was so anxious,
yeah.
like all the time. I had
Yeah.
this like I felt it physically in my gut, like it's just like this
Oh, me
heaviness.
too. Me too. Did you have panic attacks?
I I had like it was like existential panic attacks.
Okay. All right. So
Yeah.
let's look directly at that, right? So thought can only really survive in the past and the future.
Mm.
If you go directly right now, kind of like what we're doing right now, where are the thoughts? So the past usually leads you to depression. The future, thinking about the future, is anxiety, right?
Yeah.
So I was basically avoiding this present moment because there's no thoughts there, meaning I don't really exist. But that's the infinite appearing as this, right? So in this directness, um, well, thoughts basically don't appear. These words are just coming out of nowhere. Even if you have a thought right now, it's also coming out of nowhere. If you don't really pay attention to it, meaning that if you see that it's irrelevant, then it does not really, take you to the past or the future, because really there's no past or future. It's just a thought. And this is so
Yeah.
weird to say this, right? A second ago never really existed. The next second will never happen.
Yeah.
It's just a thought. So when you are kind of like wide eyes open in this directness, you're like, what the hell? It's just this. It's just this. If you look at a dog, it's just this. If you look at a
Yeah.
cat, they're wide awake, basically, right? Everything is wide awake except you. But you are a thought. A thought is basically a dream. You will never wake up. You can never wake up a thought, because the thought will only lead you. It will have a reference of the past or the future, or think about the future.
Mm.
So in this directness right now, is there any anxiety?
No.
In this directness right now, are there any thoughts? Yeah,
No.
this is it. It's so simple.
Yeah.
This is what everyone's looking for, right? You're always looking at it, but when you think of it, you think you lost it, but you will never lose it.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
like stupid simple, isn't
it's so stupid simple. Yeah.
it? Yeah.
So this moment right now, you know what I'm saying, is the infinite. It's what people call awareness or consciousness or whatever, but don't put any words
Yeah.
into it, because the moment that you think you know it, you lose it,
Yeah.
because it's in
Like,
everything. Yeah. So what you're looking at is the infinite. What's looking at is the infinite. What's having feelings is infinite. What's having thoughts is infinite. So the infinite is appearing as everything that you could ever appear, right? But since we seem to put on words on the infinite that we don't think it is, so we're actually living in this paradise, but not your idea of what paradise is. There's this peacefulness here, like a deep rest, isn't it? It's like, oh, wow.
yeah.
But it's not finding it because it's always here. Because when you think you have to find it, then you are overlooking it. When you think you found it, then you lose it.
And both is just thinking.
What's that?
When you're thinking that you're looking for it, or if you
Yeah.
think
Yeah,
that
but
you
it's just
found it.
thinking, but you never really lose it. It's just thinking that you lost it. Right.
Yeah.
So what people call awakening or enlightenment is just really simple. It's just this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One thing that is like coming up,
Yeah.
that
Go
is
for it.
this simple, and that not I, but yeah, I'm seeing it.
Yeah.
It's like there's all of these traditions, all of these people, like thousands of people, like still seemingly looking for it and like talking about this thing.
Yeah.
It's like, how come
It's
they haven't all seen it,
it's
but somehow
it's a thought level. It doesn't
yeah,
even exist. It's a dream level, basically. There's no levels really. It's just an appearance in levels, right? If there's no past, did any of these spiritual people really are real? No.
yeah,
It's just their thought about it.
yeah,
It
yeah,
is even any guru has ever even appeared? No.
yeah,
Yeah. So it's almost so incredible, right? So stunningly obvious that it's this, right? And it's actually looking through your eyes already. It seems to be hidden because it's what's looking.
yeah,
So what's
yeah,
looking, what's seeking this is also this. And it has nothing to do with scriptures. It has nothing to do with enlightened beings, because those are just thoughts.
yeah,
In the absence of all of that, in this directness, does it even matter? No. No.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
yeah,
And everybody will try to go to explanations of this and everything. That's why when I open if you hear my talks, I'll be like, I have no idea what this is.
yeah.
This
I've
is a
heard you say that.
knowable. Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah, this is a knowable. You have no idea what this is too. But
yeah,
seemingly right now, this is the infinite. It doesn't have a beginning. It doesn't have an end. Look for a beginning, look for an end. You will never find it. So
yeah. It's
we are
just so
seeming.
weird.
It is. It's so weird, right? But that's also it. Weird is it.
Yeah,
Peace is it. Whatever seems to appear. So it's basically a blank, empty space that's infinite. And everything seems to appear like simulation. Feelings might appear dissimulated, but there's no one simulating it. It's a grand mystery, right? And
mm,
it can appear as sadness, happiness, anxiety. But when you see that it's just an appearance, it's almost like when you see that it's a grand joke.
yeah,
And it doesn't like, I haven't had anxiety for like 6, 7 years,
mm,
because I see that the future is just a thought.
yeah,
I see that the past is just a thought. So when I see, not I'm just using, you can't really even talk about this, to be honest.
yeah,
It's such a, it's such a, it's so easy.
mm.
It's so easy. This is the end of seeking, basically.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's not in the scriptures, it's not in the books. No one can write about this. That's probably why I'm having a hard time publishing my book, is because what's the point?
yeah,
I have 2 books finished already, but you know,
yeah,
I'm just enjoying what this is, right?
Yeah.
Always. It's like in my walks in the morning. It's in my it's my dental appointment earlier. That's it. But that's
Yeah.
just a thought. So the moment that you get caught up in a thought, you think that you lost it, you think that you got it. It will try to do that because kind of like what Einstein said, right? Although there's really no Einstein, um,
Yeah.
reality is an illusion, but a very persistent one.
Yeah. I heard you say that the other day. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So what you're looking at is a complete construct, but what's looking and what's being looked at cannot be constructed. It's just this
Mm.
beautiful appearance of it's like almost like a kaleidoscope of appearances.
Yeah.
It's like a moving formlessness. It's like a moving stillness. It's like an art, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. How are you feeling?
Yeah. I still have this nervous energy, but it's like slowly getting out.
Yeah, yeah, that's okay.
um,
That's okay. That's it too.
yeah. That's it too, right? Yeah. Um,
It appears as that. Yeah. It's not
yeah.
about getting rid of anything, right? Because getting rid of anything,
Yeah. That's funny that you brought that up because I used to think for so long, pretty much the whole time up until a few weeks ago, that's what I was trying to do. I was trying to get rid of the anxiety first, and then
yeah.
trying to get rid of,
But that will just cause you more anxiety.
yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, and that's all right. um, yeah, like, and then I would do these practices, like trying to just allow it to be there, and
Yeah.
that seemed to like do something. Like, you know, I had some experiences of like that feeling in my gut like vanishing and like going up to my chest instead, like
Yeah.
with the chakras and stuff. And yeah, like I've felt like a lot of like overwhelming peace when it's like gone, but then it's always come back.
Yeah.
um but yeah, I don't even know how long ago, but recently I just sort of saw um that it doesn't matter what's going up.
It doesn't matter. It's irrelevant,
Yeah.
right? So when I used to be so caught up in my thoughts and I would meditate like for hours and hours, right? Because I said that I have to quiet my thoughts. I have to I have to. But when it clicked, kind of like right now it's clicking, right? That all
Yeah.
thoughts that are happening are just irrelevant. So I didn't
Yeah.
even have to meditate anymore. I didn't need even to
Yeah.
investigate it because it just makes it relevant or it just makes it real when you are investigating it or inquiring on thoughts, right? So when it's like when you're looking directly, and this is just a narrative, um, when you're looking directly, when you are not thinking, when you're completely kind of like just direct, there are no thoughts really. And you'll notice
Yeah.
this when you're walking around, when you're doing something that you love. I like walking with my dog. I like DJing. I like playing music, and there are no thoughts. Even if thoughts come in, they're just irrelevant. But
Yeah.
when I was seeking, I was so depressed, man. I was so anxious, because that took over my whole um, existence. So the
Yeah.
apparent existence is just to enjoy what this is.
Mm.
To start seeking what this is to basically deny it.
Yeah. Ah,
Yeah,
because if you're looking for it, that's just assuming that you don't have it.
exactly. So whatever you're being faced at is it.
Yeah.
It's like a present. It's an infinite present. The present of time, the present of colors, the present of relationship, the present of anger, whatever seems to appear, right? It's just like when you keep on denying it, then there's suffering.
Mm.
And I'm just using stories now, right? So every time that I do this one-on-ones, it's a present because I'm talking to what is. I'm talking to the infinite. And the infinite is convinced that it's not. And I see right through it, I'm like, it is already. There's nothing that you can do because it is whatever. No matter what you think, it is already the case. So this
Yeah.
meetings usually is just as kind of like it's like a stop sign.
Stop sign. Yeah.
Yeah, stop seeking. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing to be found. What's seeking is what's looking.
Mm.
So call off the search, right? And just see this as it is. See this as life that's appearing for Sam, right? You're 20 years old right now.
Yeah.
Don't spend the next 20 years seeking, man. I spent I spent 30 years in seeking, and I forgot to go to festivals. I forgot to go to raves and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I forgot to enjoy life because I thought I needed to be a holy man to be able to have that. And I judged people my age. I'm like, oh, they're so immature and everything, right? They're going to. I did go to
Yeah, I did that
raves.
as well.
Yeah, you did that too, right? You're like,
Yeah.
yeah. But there's nothing wrong with that too, even judging. It's just that's also it. But looking back, in this, although this is just another story, right? There's no regret actually, to be honest, right? Because that's it too. I'm just happy that I'm talking to a 20-year-old right now that can see life as this vibrant isness.
Yeah, I feel weird about it being so young. Like
Oh,
I
don't,
sort of
don't.
mentioned before, it's like all because I see all these other people that have been looking for so long,
Yeah.
and then it's sort of like a bit of an imposter syndrome, maybe. Like that's a way that I'm second guessing myself again. Like,
Yeah, that's
have
just
I really
irrelevant. That's
seen
a
it?
thought that's irrelevant. Yeah. Because the infinite does not really have an age. It's just
Yeah,
appearing as a 20-year-old. So the appearance of a 20-year-old and a 52-year-old is the same.
yeah,
It's just appearances. It's just an illusion. It's just a construct, right? So even I try to think of the past, I'm like, I don't really have any regrets. I'm trying to
yeah,
pull out some yarns of wisdom from an old man to a young dude. But
yeah,
I don't really even have any regrets, right? Um, it's the fullness of this. The fullness of it is just the wordlessness of it, right? Like, what do you like doing?
um, I like learning about non-duality, but maybe not anymore. Nothing else to learn about.
That was your hobby.
Yeah, it's gone now. What the hell?
Yeah.
No, but I like to do like I was a swimmer my whole
Yeah.
life, and I do triathlon as well.
Oh,
Um,
good. Do you still do
yeah,
that or not anymore?
well, it sort of fell off. Um, I sort of lost interest in a lot of things. Like I just started doing a whole lot of nothing really recently, actually, like in the last month.
Yeah.
Um, as I started to like get, it felt like I was getting these glimpses of like it's just nothing here.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and
There is nothing here, but there's also everything appearing, right?
yeah,
There's also
yeah,
kind of like triathlon and swimming and all that kind of stuff. That's also
mm,
nothing. Um, it doesn't have to be, um, it doesn't have to be anything. You can also choose to do nothing. That's completely all right too.
yeah,
Yeah. Or if you really like non-duality, you can start speaking about it or something. I don't know. Whatever appears, right?
yeah.
If it's your passion, why not, right?
Mm,
So I when I was trying to look back and everything, I did like DJing, but I also did like this. I did like
yeah,
spirituality and non-duality and everything, right? So there's nothing wrong or right about that too. But it's the
yeah.
same as just DJing or doing triathlons. It's all an
Right.
illusion. Yeah. But if this brings you joy and happiness, why not?
Yeah.
But there's
I
nothing to but there's nothing to further seek. That's the thing.
yeah.
Yeah. No other speakers or teachers can give you anything, not even this, because you saw the emptiness already, not you.
So empty.
It's so empty, isn't it?
Yeah, like it just I yeah. Like there's nothing here at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's this silence, eh? It's incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you can't even call it anything really, but we're trying to come up with words.
Yeah, I could call it God or call it
Yeah.
whatever.
whatever, yeah.
Yeah.
Or home or light.
Yeah.
Yeah. Peace, liberation, freedom.
Mm.
But it doesn't have an opposite, doesn't it?
No,
No,
that doesn't really make sense.
no. It doesn't have a name.
Mm.
It doesn't have an identity. It's not a being. It's also not a being. You know what I'm saying? It's just
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. As soon as we try and call it something,
Yeah.
then we've sort of, I don't know, misinterpreted or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The moment that we name it, it's almost like a claiming. It can't be claimed. And it's so funny in this directness, right? Isn't all the when you're talking, there's nothing behind it. Are
Yeah.
you noticing that now?
Yeah.
When you're looking, there's no one behind it too. Meaning there's no Sam looking. Can you find Sam?
I've been trying to find Sam for a while. Yeah.
Yeah. Doesn't exist, doesn't it?
No. It's like I don't want to admit it, but like,
Yeah.
no, can't find it.
No. Isn't that
Mm.
wild? That's what happened to me. I was looking for Emerson. I'm like, I can't find it. It's just a thought, really. And I'm like, what the hell? It's almost like getting caught up in a thought. It's like a big grand illusion, right? Of the character. And then when you're smacked, you know what I'm saying, in the directness of this, you're like, where is it?
Yeah, like you can't say anything.
I
It's
know.
it sort of just feels
I
like
don't know really, but yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
just like, whoa, I'm just like in awe.
Yeah.
And like I can't say anything about it, but it's just like
It does render you speechless, isn't it?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just it
It's so simple, isn't
just
it? Right?
feels you say simple.
So simple. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where's the nervousness now?
Still sort of there.
Yeah.
It's okay though.
That's it too.
Because I've never talked about this with
Yeah.
I talked to my mum about it. Um and like I've tried to
What did you
speak
say?
about it
What did you
to
tell her? What did you tell her?
um she's sort of like coming along with me on the spiritual journey, as
Yeah.
you might say, although it's sort of ended now. But um yeah, she just used to be really caught in her thoughts. And I guess I just pointed out to her like who's watching that or what is that?
Yeah.
Um and yeah, she's starting to sort of question that kind of thing. Um which is good. Like I'm so happy for her. Like she's doing so much better just with
Yeah. That's good.
how she's
That's good.
feeling and yeah,
That's good. I do that to my
which
mom too, right? Because my mom
yeah,
goes through some suffering and everything, and I just ask her, she's wildly Catholic, Roman Catholic. She
right.
clutches her rosaries on, right? I don't try to change it, but I just be an empty space for her, right? Whatever seems to
Yeah.
appear. And I also tell her that she'll have a whole bunch of this stuff that she'll talking about. I'm like, um I would say something like, what would you be without those thoughts? And then she'll
Yeah.
be like, well, at peace or happy or something. And I'm like, well,
Yeah.
what if your thoughts or your thoughts about those are just not relevant? Would you be happy? So
Mm.
sometimes I'd walk in a room and she'd be like, happy.
Yeah.
meaning she's not thinking, so
Yeah.
she's not entertaining your thoughts and everything, right? Because not trying to change or anything, but there's nothing to change, but when I just see her kind of like, trying to think and everything, um, she might, she's had 4 brain surgeries, and then she's beginning to get forgetful now, become forgetful. She thinks
Yeah.
I'm in love. She thinks I have a secret lover somewhere, and I don't. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
It's just, yeah, it's just that with spirituality, I was such a serious prick.
Yeah.
I was. I pretended to be cool, but I was just so serious.
Like you thought you had something that people didn't
Yes.
have.
Yeah. Now I don't have anything.
Yeah.
And that's what I tell you too. You don't have anything, Sam. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that's what happens in one-on-ones, is when they see it's all empty.
Yeah.
Just like right now.
Yeah.
We're switching stories and everything about moms, but what's even that?
It's just so, yeah, so radical. That's what,
Yeah.
like, yeah, I don't know. I can't express how crazy it is in words, but like I was just so, and everyone else was so like enmeshed
Yeah.
in the story. Like,
You're not even in the story.
mm,
There's not even a story really. It's fiction, right? So
yeah,
this has nothing to do with you. But you think it has something to do with you. And then
yeah,
now when you see through that both statements are irrelevant, really.
yeah,
Yeah. Because it's always appearing as whatever. It's like the ultimate shapeshifter, right? It's like it shifts into your thoughts. It appears as the sunlight, it appears as the rain, it appears as the air, it appears as everything, right? And then if you even take all those words, because those are just dream words, there's no veil.
yeah.
Yeah. It's direct. I don't
Like
even know. I don't
there's
even know what I'm
never,
looking at. Yeah.
there's never been like, yeah, like you said, a veil. There's never been something blocking
No,
this
no,
directness. Like it's
no.
just this
It's
directness.
just this directness. Yeah.
Even when this directness was appearing as like a seeker or like
That's
a
it too.
separate person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just we just put meanings in words, that are just basically like echoes of um silence. And we
Yeah.
call it separate, but there's not even anything separate aside from the suggestion that it's separate from a word that's made up. So
How
really,
does it even happen?
no, no, there you go. It's weird. It's weird as clarity, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not passed on, you know, can't be thought. It's not an idea. It's just appearing directly, right? It's just this directness.
Yeah.
Can't be conceptualized, can't be talked about. Yet here we are trying to talk about it in concepts.
Mm.
But that's also it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I felt like this nothingness. Oh,
Yeah.
actually, yeah, I was going to tell you about that.
Yeah.
Like a while ago, before I started actually seeking, I felt
Yeah.
like this like void, like this massive
Yeah.
void, like I
Yeah.
was standing on the edge of it.
Yeah.
Um, and it happened like I was like questioning. I was watching like one of those Vsauce videos, Vsauce on YouTube,
Yeah, yeah,
the science guy,
yeah,
and
yeah.
it was like talking about like the scale of the universe and that kind of thing.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And
It's
I think I
wild,
was
huh?
like, yeah, I was like around 14 years old or something, and
Yeah.
I was just sort of thinking like, I don't know what thought it was. I had some deep thought about like, okay, that's the universe, but like,
Yeah.
what's that? What's the universe in?
Oh wow, yeah.
Like,
You're
what's outside of that?
yeah,
I asked that question. I remember there was no answer, right? I asked that question,
yeah,
just
yeah,
thought, and it
yeah.
was just
It
this like,
doesn't make sense, right? It doesn't make sense.
no, it's like
Uh,
it like breaks the mind, like,
it does. One time I
and
had this glimpse that I was standing in on the event horizon, which is basically at the edge, there's a black hole, right? Like
yeah,
I was just standing, and then I realized that I'm not actually standing as the event horizon. I was just the event horizon. So all my thoughts kept on getting sucked out, like it was appear and be kind of like it's in the middle, right? So there's this existence or reality or something, and the opposite side half is like this black hole, basically the event horizon. So there was this kind of like um and I'm like, and then after that glimpse, I was just kind of like, I'm here, I'm not here. I can't make sense of it. I'm here, but I'm
mm,
not here. It's as I'm on this world, but I'm not in this world. This world is already
yeah,
being kind of like this world is already collapsed. It's already,
yeah.
yeah. You know what I'm talking about, right? This universe is already dead.
That's and that's what made me like cry the most.
Yeah,
uh, like when I saw recently again, like that this void is in fact all there is. Like,
yeah,
um, I sort of realized like, oh, okay, the world's ending.
yeah. It's
Like I
ending.
sort of feel like, oh, that's how I like conceptualize like, oh, the world's ending, cool.
Yeah,
And then I'm like, wait, no, it's worse than that.
yeah. It is.
The world never
Yeah.
existed.
It the whole construct of the beginning and the ended is I can't even say it.
Yeah,
It's already happened. It's this. Oh, it already happened and it's happening right now simultaneously. Meaning it's already
yeah,
begun and finished at the same time. If you know what I'm talking about, right? It's like this is the alpha and omega appearings, appearing right now, appearing as this conversation. It's not in the future, it's not in the past, because there's no future and past. It's happening right
yeah.
now. And so the world has completely collapsed. But at the collapse of it, it never really began. So all that there is just this, I call it when the abyss looks at the abyss,
Yeah.
there's just this infiniteness or whatever. It appears as in the infinite expression of the abyss or the infinite or the void, it can appear as this moment.
That's so wild.
Yeah. But at the same time, it's nothing because there's no moments. How can there be a moment if there's no time?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
something that's sort of I've realized again recently, like because everyone talks about the present moment, like being in the present.
Yeah.
There's no present if
There's
there's
no
no past or
present.
future, is there? Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. It's just a thought,
It's
right? You're
yeah,
you're you're constantly looking at the creation in the apocalypse.
yeah.
Yeah, but there's no creation in apocalypse at the same time. Right? It's just wow. And that's what when I had that like I was silent for quite a while, and I would think of something, I'm like, oh, that's it would just come up, and it would just every single belief system. And then you'll notice that too, that all of your belief systems are just dead, because the
Yeah.
language, it's all lies, basically. It's all a construct. So here I was looking for the consciousness and awareness, and I'm like, oh, constructs.
Yeah.
Even the I am that, or anything that any wise whatever has ever said. God has never
Mm,
been separated, and there's no God simultaneously.
yeah.
Because who's to know God if it's never been separate?
Exactly.
It's all God and no God paradox.
Hmm.
Yeah. It's the paradox that there's really no paradox.
What do you mean by that one?
It appears as a paradox, but there's no paradox. It's an appearance.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
There's really no dichotomy. There's no opposites. So how could there be how could there be a paradox if there's no opposites? If it's just,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. There's no, the mystery is that there's no mystery. The illusion that there's no illusion. Brilliant, isn't it? Well played, huh? Well played.
That now I'm sort of thinking like, what do I do now? like, like, like I've
Who knows? Who knows, right? You might go back into triathlon, or you might want to travel the world. I don't know. Or you might want to keep on exploring non-dual, although there's nothing to explore anymore with non-duality, isn't it?
right.
I kind of like
Yeah.
ruin it for you. Well, I did not, but it's ruined, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's no special attainment. There's no next anymore. So
No.
life seems just to unfold, for no reason. The infinite is going to appear as whatever. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like now it's sort of free to be whatever.
It's free. The
Like,
authenticity appears now, right? Like the
yeah.
authenticity. Like that's what happened here, I guess. It was just like um I was just a fanboy, but somehow I stumbled upon speaking, and I was like, oh shit, I really like this. It's
Yeah.
just, it just comes out really naturally and everything, right? And then the
Yeah.
one-on-ones was just like a bonus, right? Like I'm meeting what isness. Although it's just what is meeting what is. So when it's just what is, there's not even a meeting.
Yeah.
It's
There's no
just what
meeting.
is.
There's no,
There's no
yeah.
meeting, right? Yeah. So what
Yeah.
is talking to what is. There's not even talking. It's just what is.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm still like shocked, and I'm saying like, what the hell? And you
Does
you
that
don't
never
have
go
any
away?
no. No, every time like, this one-on-one happens, right? It's kind of like, shit, someone's about to see what this is all over again.
Yeah.
And you kind of probably had a feeling that's why you're probably nervous about it. Or you're like, oh shit, I'm going to, this is this is I'm doomed, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. The
Yeah. This
one
is it.
the one before you, um almost like the story is so funny, right? Because the one before you was about 45 years in seeking.
Wow.
Yeah. You know what he said? This is really, really funny. I'll ask him if I can release the video, but he said, I feel like I'm 20 years old again.
Wow.
Yeah. So do you feel like you're 45 years old right now, or 50 years old? But he said that it's fresh again, right? It's like, oh, good.
Yeah.
It's fresh again, right? So it's like seeing, it's almost like when the seeking ends, you see this world with fresh eyes now. You're like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mm. Yeah. I don't know what to say. It's
I'm gonna
just,
stop the recording here.